live. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for the likes, guys. Thanks for coming by. Sorry I'm running late. Just taking care of stuff with Mrs. Euler's workshop and running errands and things now that we're both testing negative. So running around on a Sunday getting stuff done. Thanks for being here, guys. Who's here? Who's here? I'm here. Robert Evans, thank you. Magic School Truck, CT Cartoonist. Well, thanks for stopping by. Okay. Well, let me show you what we did on the live stream yesterday. I was working on catching up a bunch of projects yesterday, and I figured I would just basically go live on that one technique, since I know I have a lot of new followers who probably have never watched that video where we did that grout covering technique, and I figured I'd just show it, just that technique. So let me show you guys really quick. Let me move this. And this is the wall that we painted, and this is the backside now. So I've got to do a little bit of crack filling and some sanding and stuff up here. The seam's split open a little bit, but that's just because I forgot to caulk the seam. Normally I caulk the seam before I put on the grout, but for some reason I just forgot to, so it's okay. Just go back over it with a little bit and fill it in. It should be okay. So I'll fill these in and I'll paint these to match this side with my spray paints. Again, if you want to see the whole process again with the painting and all that, in the OW Art Live, in the Tiny Art Experiment playlist, you can see the whole process, what I did yesterday, plus everything else to get it to just about this point over there. All right. So there's the backside. We're gonna paint it. We'll do wires and all that stuff. I'll probably do some of this off camera because I've already been showing those techniques. Thank you guys again for being here. Thanks for the likes. And just a reminder, I will be showing this live in person in Las Vegas at the Gold Coast Hotel. If you go to imoma.lv.com, I believe it's linked below in the description, you can check out where and when this is, but this will be on display and they have been advertising it, so I'm committed. I got to take it. So this whole thing, and the gentleman who made this piece right here, White Wolf Dioramas, he's coming to Vegas. He's coming to visit, so he'll be there in person too on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you guys want to meet one of the artists, and we might have another one coming. He hasn't confirmed yet. He's been talking to me about throwing the idea around, and we may have one or two of our photographers there. So anyways, I also weathered this, and you can see how bright it was. And I'll go over this too in detail, but I did some weathering where I knocked down some of the paint. I took the spray paint method where we did the spray paint touch-up, where I just spray it on the piece of cardboard and then touch it up and clean up the edges. I did that, but I did it with a sponge. I took a large sponge and I just went dab, 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 as much or as little as I wanted. And then I did some swiping down to make it look like maybe something had hit it or fallen down or moisture wear or whatever. Came back in and just tapped where I wanted around here to kind of pull some of that runic symbols and detail off the wall, and to make it look weathered. And we still haven't actually added technically the weathering yet. I just did some of that, so we still got to add some oil and grease and whatever, but I'll probably do that to this whole thing once I touch up and paint this side. And I'll show you the other one because I did two of these. We'll put this back here for the moment. Move this over here. Got stuff everywhere. Put that over there. So this is the other one. So this is the one that we did. I have not weathered this yet, so you can see the difference, how bright all of this is. And then I'm going to come back in and weather this with a sponge and kind of knock it down. But here is the back side of this one. So this is the other back side. And so once this stuff dries, it's like nice and hard and solid. And so again, I got to do a little touch up. There's like a seam crack here and stuff, but that not a big deal. So I'll probably do that off stream. Yeah, it should be good. What's up, New Future Customs? Thanks for coming by. And we just set these over here. So I kind of decided, I think, I was thinking about this off camera, all the runes and stuff that we've painted. Hi, Kimberly. That we painted in the blue and purple. I think I'm going to make that sort of like the what do you call it? The management of the city. I don't know why not the government. I don't know why I could think of that word. The government of the city, sort of whoever's like running the city, whether it's a daimyo or a mayor or something. So I was thinking the blue and the purple would be on all the buildings and structures, or the blue and the purple in this style would be on all the buildings and structures run by the government. And then like maybe we'll do browns and oranges on like the stuff that's by the people, just to differentiate. I don't know, just an idea I had for finishing it off or telling the story, because when you have a story behind what you do, it makes it easier to do it, and it makes it look more realistic if you kind of follow the story thread. So that's what I was thinking. Maybe all of this was done by the government, or by the people who run the town. I don't know, maybe not. I don't know, something like that. Trying to come up with a story for it, just so that it makes sense. In the world that it's in, so things look like they go together. And yeah, I did some of this weathering as well on these other two buildings. I'll show you where I knocked it down. I also did some weathering on the door we inserted from Pie Box Models last stream, so I will show you that here. So this is Pie Box Models door. This is the door we painted that he modeled and 3D printed and sent us. I just added this weathering and dry brushing, and I cleaned up this. I did all the touch-up on the filler that we did, the repair that we did, and then I used spray paint and a sponge and just tapped it on there, and then did a little bit of a sort of swiping up with that same sponge to get the dust up on the door. And I feel like I might want to paint, I feel like this building needs a stripe around it, like a thick half-inch stripe, maybe in blue. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's like a security building or something. And then this one, I did the same thing. Where, remember how bright this was when I finished it? It looked a little bright and out of place. Well, that's because I was always planning on knocking it back down. That's what I call it. You know, you paint it up and knock it down. So I did the same thing where I did the sponging technique just to delete some little areas, like right here, where it looks like it's just kind of worn off over time and it's been hit and stuff. So, and then I did the same thing where I came in and I touched up the areas with paint to match where we had done the repairs, as well as on like here. And so that turned out good. We still have to add again the washes to this, but this is now ready for the final stage, the washes. And then I did the same thing to this building where we had the really bright purple on the sides, the purpley blue. I came and knocked it back down. Thank you, New Future Customs, for the stash emojis. I came and knocked it back down and did some touch up, and so this thing is ready for washes. And then here is our tower that or the top of the tower that we built. And so this now magnets onto here, so we can put that on top of the tower. So then we've got our little city lookout, center of the town lookout, or front of the town lookout, or where the ships come in. This is the guard tower, or whatever you want to, I can't think of the word for that right now, air traffic control. And so this needs to be weathered, but I'm going to call this one basically done. It just needs to be weathered with washes, I mean. And so this one's done. So we're like over halfway done with all this finishing stuff. I'll probably do a lot of this off camera, but I want to make sure I cover all the techniques in detail for you guys on camera, so that everybody can see how it's done. So 2 buildings I want to work on today. I already said I want to maybe put a stripe on this one. And the other buildings, let me show you, the ones you guys have not seen yet on the live streams. Let me put this out of the way. My shop table is very busy. This archway, I want to work on this archway. So this is an archway that I made out of styrofoam. That's the open cell styrofoam and some XPS foam. And this actually needs a little bit of touch up, but we can still do what I want to do today without it. I was thinking of putting like some kind of detail around the top here to make it look like sort of like a welcome to our wonderful little village or something. And I thought this would be cool with something like that, you know, some kind of just a little like stripe along here, or some kind of detailed stripe, similar to what we've been doing on this. And the biggest building that I made, excuse me, this guy. So this is the two-story building that I made. And this one is all, again, cardboard, XPS foam, styrofoam. This one's got a staircase. And this door is one of our contributing artists. This is made by Concrete Bubble. He made this, and he made like a radio tower thing that matches the paint scheme. So when I set it up, I'll probably put his radio tower like next to this building. So I got to do touch up around the edges here, and then this would maybe some symbols or writing up here. But I feel like I might do this one in maybe brown and blue instead of purple and blue. I don't know. I haven't really decided, but I made some detail parts for this that we need to stick in, and I have a detail part that needs to go under here. That's why there's this blank space on this wall. What's up, Uncommon Flex? And so, yeah, this needs to be add some detail to it and glue on some pieces. I'm gonna make some more details too out of like PVC parts that I had, so we'll do that today if I have time. I'm kind of tired because I'm still kind of recovering, but however much I feel like I have energy for, maybe about 2 hours worth, I think. So we got the archway, this building, that tiny building, and then we'll add some details. We'll just kind of see how far we get. All right, let me put this down and let me take off my terrorist scarf. No, this is from Self-Reliance Outfitters, a really cool website that sells like high quality like outdoorsman gear, and I love these. These are super warm and they keep my neck warm, so I love these. I wore these when I was in Egypt too, all around the desert to keep the sand out of your face, just like that. So I have, this is a big one though. I have a smaller white one that I wore around Egypt when we were there, and ever since I wore this in Egypt, I love these things. I have a tan one and I have a green one as well. These are called, I can't remember what these are called now. These are called, I want to say Burgadas, but that's not correct. No, that's I'm combining Burqa and Hurghada. Hurghada is a town in Egypt, and Burqa is the thing that the women wear. I forgot what these are called. Forgive me. Sorry. These are great. But yeah, these are only like $11 on their website too, and these are awesome. And they're stylish. All right, let me grab my scarf, my apron. All right. What is everybody saying? Shamog! Thank you. Magic School Truck got it. Shamog. I was like, that's why I was like, Burgada. It's like something with a G and an H. Burgag, Shamog, that's the one. Thank you. A Shamog. So what's up, Fishnet Creative? Thanks for being a channel member. Sam Edwards, thanks for coming by. I just want to see who else is here that I may have missed. Thank you, guys. Thanks to the 19 of you watching, and thank you for the 10 likes, guys. I appreciate that. Okay, let's do this and flip the camera around. Okay. Set this up over here. I'm gonna lift the camera up a little bit today. And I think I need to wipe my lens off, so let me grab a wipey. Did you guys ever watch Pete and Pete on Nickelodeon? Where they run out of moist towelettes, and so they start wiping their faces with beef because it's all they can find. Yeah, you probably don't remember that show from Nickelodeon, but it was a funny kid show. Oops. Stay locked in. Stay locked in, please. There we go. Stay where I... Oops. Sorry. Tripod is not agreeing with me right now. There we go. The dog father. What's going on? I'm glad you're here, man. Okay, so let's just start with something simple. Let's go ahead and do a stripe on this. So we're going to grab our good old masking tape, and I'm going to mark this up like I did last time. I'm going to turn off my shop heater too, because it was very loud on the stream yesterday, and the sound cut out on the stream. So sorry about that. You can watch me do everything on that stream from yesterday, but the sound cuts out because I got 3 calls during the stream. And for whatever reason, the last one, I answered it on my iPad. And for some reason, the sound did not come back on the stream. And you can see me go, and slam my fist down because I was like, I keep getting calls. So it's kind of entertaining. The dog father, thank you. Please make your own stuff. Tag me in it so I can see it later on Instagram or Facebook or wherever, preferably Instagram. It's easier for me to see it. So, Dad and Son Adventures. What's up, Dad and Son Adventures? Awesome. All right. Thanks for being here. I'm just going to mark where I want my stripey stripe here. Probably just go with like 2 inches down. 2 inches down. 2 inches down. 2 inches down. Dos inches down. 2 inches down. 2 inches down. Doesn't matter if it's off a little bit. And it's just a guideline for the tape. Actually, let me grab my green tape too. Okay. There we go. This is the green frog tape that we used last time. Wonder why they call it frog tape. Just kidding. Actually, I need to adjust that back one a little bit. We'll see. That's a little off. Okay. Oops, that's not a long enough piece. There we go. I'm giving myself bumpers here. You know when you go bowling and you put up the bumpers because you're afraid you might not be able to hit the pins? Well, this is the painting equivalent of bumpers, but it's accepted in the painting world. Whereas bumpers for a professional in bowling probably wouldn't be professional if you're using bumpers. But these are kind of a must. So let me... How big of a stripe? It doesn't need to be that big. Let me just figure that out. Yeah, there we go. That big. Maybe 3/8 of an inch. Just gonna trace around now that I have that big green guideline. Just gonna go around with pieces of tape. I'm just eyeballing this. Again, we're gonna like weather it too, so if you wanted to do it like laser perfect with like masking tape or liquid latex, which you can paint on and then peel off as a mask, you could do that, but for our purposes, it's just not necessary to get that fine, especially since we're going to be taking paint off again later with weathering techniques and such. So, yeah. Okay. I'm going to do a brown stripe on this. Burnt umber. You get some burnt umber. And there it is. Good old Bernie Umby. My wife gets mad at me every time I burn the umber because I don't know how to cook umber apparently. No, just kidding. Oh, the dog father. My IG handle is the same except there's an underscore, like in your name, between Oilers and Workshop. On IG, it's Oilers_Workshop. Okay. Get that burn umber cooking. And this brush will probably do fine. My paper towel. Nothing super fancy going on at the moment. Just trying to make this look prettier. Looks pretty good though. Pie box model door really makes that look great. Did a great job on that. And here we go. nothing too fancy here. And I'm not worried about making the layer super dense because I'm going to be taking stuff off anyways. So, not going to sweat that. Okay. Be more careful in here. Don't want it to bleed over into the wrong area. I'm taking the brush, I'm pushing down and I'm bending it to get the bristles to kind of fan out and spread the paint and create a thinner edge on the brush so that I can kind of control the edge and make it look a little sharper. I mean, you can't really get a super sharp edge on texture like this, but I can get a slightly sharp edge. So just right where I didn't put paint. That's what I'm going for. There we go. Maybe I'll do a little... No, that's good. I'm fine with that. And we'll peel this... Oh, no. A little more on this side. Layer ended up kind of thin. That's good. That's good. All right. See how it turned out. Bam. We have a brown stripe. And I can see some areas that look thinner just because of the way the tape laid down. I'm just going to touch them up really quick. Because of the undulation of the surface, sometimes the tape is deceptive when you lay it down and it looks thicker or thinner than it really is. All right, and I'm actually going to maybe just do some, take my brush with a little bit of paint on it left and just kind of drag down to make it look like there's runoff from the paint area. Maybe do some more in some other areas like that. Try to keep my lines as vertical as possible. Just to add more sort of effects, like the paint's kind of maybe run down over the years. Just a little bit, not a lot. They're going to add washes later anyways. There we go. That's kind of what I was looking for. I guess I needed a little bit thicker paint than I thought. There we go. We can take it away with our sponge technique too. If we don't like the way it looks, we can delete it if we want to. We can delete it. In this corner. I'm just gonna do this around this to kind of blend it into all those lines. Maybe this person doesn't like color or they're colorblind, so they're just like, I'm gonna paint my house with a brown line. I don't like blue and purple. What idiot thought of blue and purple? That would be me. There we go. And then we'll take some of that off. We'll do washes and stuff like that. So, see how that looks in camera. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, we'll adjust that too later when we add washes of the same color. It'll make it kind of change form a little. Set this back here. Picking my nose on stream. Okay. Maybe I'll do a blue line above that. I feel like a blue line might look good on that. Okay. Let's move on to this one. So this one I'm going to do with the blue and purple, the blurple. Go. Mosaic blue and Bimini blue. Not bikini blue, Bimini blue. Take a drink of my coffee. All right. What's up, Eros the Crazed? All right. Let's get back to the tapey. This one I might sketch the lines on, like I did on the other one. Maybe I'll do it like here and trace around like I did on that other one. So maybe we'll go 2.5 inches down from here. Yep. That far off. 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches. Okay. It's not level. There we go. Just got to visualize this so it wraps around at the same height. Because my piece is a little janky. What do you expect if it's built by natives of Tatooine? They don't care. They just want to stay out of the sun. They just like, put it together. I think that was my my mentality when I was building it. It's like, put it together. Okay. That looks better. So I'll do, maybe I will just visually do this side since that side was so off when I measured it. Okay. Yep, okay, that's good. Bring the camera over here closer for you guys on this one. Actually, I should probably put it over here since I am right-handed. blue stripe, purple runes. Probably too much paint, but that's okay. And this, which brush do I want to use for my line? So the problem with having all these brushes in the water, you can never find the ones you want. That's the one I want. I found it. Never mind. Okay. Well, that's always fun when you accidentally break your brush. Whoops! New brush time. Fresh brush coming in. Here we go. All right. No biggie. Where do I want to hold this? Right there. That's where I want to hold this. Okay. Just gonna do this. Good old tape bumpers. Let me get that strike. There's a jet in the background. Gotta love that. I'm not too far from the airport here, so I get all kinds of weird noises at weird times. Sometimes they fly C-130s from the Stead Air Force Base over my head, and it's like the whole shop shakes. You're like, oh, lovely. Here comes the cavalry. Okay. Oop, needs a little repair there. That's okay. This blue is giving me like beach town vibes. This is the beach town of Tatooine. Excuse me. Just carry that line to there. This is where I'm going to go around. I don't have the steadiest hand, I have to admit. I paint kind of like I sketch when I do lines. Especially on a texture like this, it's like really, oops, yeah, see? Getting smudgy looking stuff. Oh well, I can take that off if I really want to. I wish I had a steadier hand. I could do like, I could do this, but I'm going to go back over it again and again because it's not going to lay down as thick as I want. Yeah, so that's okay. You guys seen that those reel the sounds on Instagram where you can borrow someone's audio and create a funny reel? There's that one been going around for a while now, where it's Bob Ross, and he goes, someone says, "You're crazy." You say, "It's okay. Just tell them you're a painter." That's Bob Ross's response. Someone says, "You're crazy." You say, "Oh, it's okay. I'm a painter. Just tell them you're a painter. It'll be okay." That's probably what he's talking about. Do enough of this, you start going crazy. Or you get into the zone. Both have happened. Both are good. When I'm alone and I put on like some lo-fi music or some like ambient sound music that's like, I'll put on the stuff that's like a Japanese village, sounds from a Japanese, medieval village or whatever, and I'll just put that on and you'll hear like rain and people stick fighting in the background, and it's like very peaceful ambiance. And then I'll get to work. My ADD will go into full swing where I'll just hyper focus on the thing that I'm doing, and the passage of time is like totally non-existent to me. And then out of nowhere, like 7 hours goes by. That happens to me. So just when I'm doing something like this, just drawing a line, totally zone out. And then Mrs. Euler's workshop is calling me going, dear, when are you coming home? And I'm like, I don't know, around 7. And she's like, dear, it's 8:45. I'm like, oh gosh. That's what happens to me. All right, so I carried this one all the way to the edge. I don't know why, I just decided to. And this one goes around. So, all right, let me just touch up my line a little. I think on the other one, I drew some lines just coming out from the center, so I'm going to do the same thing here, or from the center axis, just for decoration. Decoration. One more. There we go. Just give it a little friend. Now I have an idea. This is going to be sort of the entrance to the city, so do something like this. There we go. Just a little detail. Nothing crazy. Maybe touch that up a little bit. Make it look a little bit less painted by a giant hand. Yep, that looks cool. All right, happy with that. And let's see, does it need any more? What do you guys think? More, less? Sam Edwards, all right, he's crazy. Crazy with us. He's a painter. Okay. Does it need more? I want to do something on these columns. Maybe, or do we want to? Maybe I could do some purple fades on the columns. That'd be kind of cool. Do anything else over here? I feel like something over here needs something because I did something on the other side. Just to differentiate it. A lot of times when I draw, I think about, like, I've said this many times before, a lot of times when I draw. A lot of times when I create a diorama or sculpt something, I think about, especially a diorama, the person I'm giving it to being like I'm delivering a miniature set piece to them, and they're a director of their own miniature movie, whether it's for an action figure display or for a photo shoot or for whatever. And so I try to give them options, you know, so like I could just paint this one side and I could have left this blank. It'd be a one-sided thing. But to me, it's like if I do the whole object and I paint both sides and I paint them a little bit differently, then it gives the person doing the photographs options. So sometimes I feel like that's the way to go. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do another motif over here, but I'm going to change it up. I'm going to do trapezoids, but I'm going to do them off-center instead of in the center, like arrayed around the arc. that. There we go. One little shape. And then we'll do another little shape. Right about there. Just kind of visually mapping this out to about there. Yep, there we go. Sketch painting. I've invented a maneuver. No, I'm just kidding. I don't invent anything as much as I just rediscover things other people have already figured out how to do. But it's always fun when you discover it. You're like, oh, I figured out a thing. That's why it feels like you invented it, but you invented it in your own little world, but somebody else probably did it too, which is exciting because then you're just as awesome as the other person that figured out the same thing as you. And we'll do a stripe here because I feel like it needs one. And we'll do a, oops, that's a thick stripe. Accidental thick stripe, that's okay. Then maybe some dots here. Doot, doot. Maybe 2 dots there. It's there. Yep. There we go. There's some detail on the other side. And some detail on that side. I feel like this needs to be to less of a point. Yep. And that needs a dot for some reason. And that needs less of a point. And we need 2 dots right here because we just do. Okay. Pretty happy with that. I'm going to go back to the smaller building because I feel like that needs some blue on it. Now that I'm looking at the brown, I like the brown, but I want to put some blue on it. What's up? Good. I'm glad you like a fishnet. Duffman, thanks for swinging by. All right. Thanks for being here, guys. All right. Dot, dot, stripe, dot, stripe. Yep, I like that. I don't know if I gravitated towards this sort of turquoise-ish looking color when I first picked it out because I live in Nevada and I mean I know this is common around most of America, but we have the Paiute tribe and the Washoe tribe out here. When I was sort of thinking of indigenous looking stuff, my brain went to turquoise because there's a ton of turquoise art here, and I'm talking about the rock turquoise. And so I don't know if that's why my brain went to this color, like sort of like earthen tones. You know, you got the umber, you got the sand, and you got turquoise because in northern Nevada those colors are very common in native motifs. But I also wanted it to look alien, so I feel like on these weird sort of mechanical looking sand shapes, as well as having throwing the purple in there, kind of feel like it gives it an alien feel. But it also looks real, you know, familiar. I think that may be why my brain went there. Something that's familiar, but I could make, but stands out as bright, but also looks correct, you know. Again, I said we were channeling our inner Doug Chang and Ralph McQuarrie when we did our first blurple color paint job, and I still am now, because I've always said it's like a lot of people want to replicate Star Wars when they make a diorama or make a display piece or make a prop. They want to copy it, they want to make a replica. I'm always of the mindset, it's like, as much as I like that, and that is an art form in and of itself, somebody created the original thing, you know. Ralph McQuarrie, Doug Chang, George Lucas, Joe Johnston, Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau now, you know, all these people that are working on Star Wars now and in the past. John Knoll, all the different people who created things um, that designed parts of Star Wars. It started from their mind, you know, it had to start from somewhere. It wasn't like some pre-established thing that everybody was replicating, you know. So I think, why not me? Why can't I just have that? Why can't I just make up my own style for Star Wars? So that's kind of what I'm doing here. Why can't this be a new thing? There we go. That looks cool. Kind of looks like a pot. It looks like a Native American pot. And then when we add the knockdown to it, then we do the washes, I think that'll kind of stand out on its own. Maybe we'll just make this one look like that. Maybe I'll put the Tusken Raider hut next to it. We had Eliza Jones on the Tiny Art Experiment team. She made a really beautiful Tusken Raider hut. And I keep saying I'm going to do it. I haven't had the time because everything's stored up in a box up on a shelf. But I want to pull down some of the wonderful art pieces that will be on display, populating this diorama with accessories and vehicles and characters and stuff. Because there's just some unbelievable stuff some of you probably have not seen yet that artists have made. If you go check out my unboxing video, which is like this second or third video on the Tiny Art Experiment playlist, you'll see all the stuff I'm talking about. And I want to pull out some of these pieces. So maybe for the next stream, I'll pull like 2 down and show off a couple of pieces of some of these artists and put them next to the buildings as like a sneak peek, because I cannot wait to see this whole thing assembled. I have seen it assembled without all the weathering and paint and without all this stuff populating it, which was cool enough. I was happy with that. But putting everybody's stuff in it and getting it professionally photographed, photographed, I think is going to be really special. Okay, put that aside. And, you know, the more I look at this, the more I feel like this needs blue on it. While I have the blue out, I think I'm going to put some blue on it. If you like it, then you should have put some blue on it. Isn't that the Beyonce song? All right, I feel like this needs blue, and I feel like, a V-shape would be a little bit too much. I want to keep with the same sort of linear motif that almost looks like sort of circuitry. The Dogfather, these are for 1/18th scale figures. This diorama was originally inspired by the Mandalorian Razor Crest by Haslab, which is 1/18th scale. So it's for the original size Star Wars figures, 3 3/4. You could use some of these pieces as background pieces for larger scale photography, and like this gate could be used for like 1/12, but the buildings with like doors and stuff really need to be done for 1/18th. So, but yeah, that was basically to keep the size of this city, because it's basically a miniature city or settlement, down to a workable size. If we went bigger, you know, you got to make more and make it bigger, and so it's a lot more work. So I wanted to keep it more manageable. So that's why we went with 1/18th instead of 1/12 or 1/6. So, but all the techniques you're seeing here could be applied to anything. You could apply them to any scale from 1/64th, you know, Hot Wheels scale, excuse me, all the way up to like half scale if you wanted to. You know, 1-to-1 scale, I might change materials on some of this stuff if you're building full-size stuff. You know, I might not use tile grout. I might use like hot mud and the knockdown tool to, you know, to cover like drywall and plywood. But if you, I think you could use these techniques all the way up to half scale, and it would still look good and work well in that scale. So, big question. Maybe I'll do some like lines coming down. I don't know how to describe what I'm talking about other than to just do it. I feel like this is almost giving me like a circuitry vibe, like very, very subtle. So if I keep that going, come down on these, like a line here. Oops, you guys can't see that, can you? Hold on. Let me turn that down. I'm gonna turn this so it'll be easier for my hand. Okay. Do a line here, and then bring a line down. And not all the way, just a little ways. the way. Oop, too much paint. There we go. I wanted to put blue on this, but I couldn't figure out where, but I got a spark of inspiration, guys. We'll do a dot. And another dot. And a dot. Yep. Do this one. Gotta love the sound of those wires. Lovely. Do a line right here. And I'm just gonna do one down the center on this one. I'm gonna do a circle, because that's what the universe told me to do. I'm feeling a circle right here. Do you feel like a circle? And then a dot. Yeah. It's a little bit of a janky circle, but that's okay. It was painted in a rush. There we go. And this is gonna be fun to paint under this wire. Why didn't you think that through, Oilers? That's because I'm making it up as I go along. All right. We'll do a short one here. See if I can do this without painting the wire. Yes. Oh, yeah. Do a dot there. I'm going to cheat. So I'm going to get under this. Do a couple of dots. Do a dot there. Do a dot there. Do 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 do. Oh no. Okay. And I got what, 2 more? Yeah. Dos más. Do that. I'm gonna do a line right here and then do that. And a dot. Gotta have the dots. Start another line. Subtlety is key sometimes when you're doing this. Like, I mean, I know I'm using bright colors and thick lines, but I could go crazy and draw all kinds of patterns, but it would fill it in really, really quick. And it might look like too much, so that's why I'm just keeping the actual design simple. Just trying to not overdo it. A line, a dash, a circle, some dots. Nothing crazy. Okay. There we go. I just had an idea. Another line. Another line. And another line. And then do a line down the center. So every side is a little bit different. No 2 people are not on fire. If you get that reference, you can be my best friend. Okay. Let's see what this looks like standing up. I think that will look all right. There we go. There we go. That looks cool. Back this up some more. You might not think so, but I do. My mom says it's cool. Okay. I'm going to put the blurples away for now. And I'm happy with this. Put this over here again with the top on it. Let me show you guys what it looks like with the orange top on it. Kind of weird to see with all the light behind it. It'll look good when it's all set up with everything else. Kind of the lights behind it kind of ruining it, but that's okay. And then I feel like if I put purple on this, it'll be too much. I'm going to leave this alone. I'm going to trust my instincts on this one. I'll move on to this big guy. Okay. Hello. All right. So, had some accessories for this. Accessory pieces. Just gonna put these in there. These are little mini terracotta pots. So, terracotta pots. Thanks for all the likes again, guys. I appreciate that. Okay. You can see the orange there from the terracotta. I cut those holes for these. Decide if I really want them there. Yeah, I think they're kind of cool because they're kind of like little windows. I think they're cool. And then I can put some grease coming down later. I haven't decided if I want to use acrylic for the grease or if I want to use oil or shoe polish. I might use oil paints on when I do the grease spots. I think it'll look more greasy. Or I could just use a bunch of layers of washes, but we'll see. Okay, let me just glue these in place before I forget. Just using my EPS clear glue, which I believe is linked below if you guys want to get some. This glue pretty much glues everything to everything that is lightweight, I would say. It's not going to glue like, you know, metal to anything in particular. Oops, maybe a little bit too much up there. It's okay. I'm not going to glue like metal to metal, but it'll glue like wood to metal, you know, cardboard to metal, cardboard to wood, foam to foam, or foam to cardboard, or apples to bananas, or chickens to ducks. Not that anybody needs to glue a chicken to a duck, but it would probably do it. I don't know why I said that, but I just did. Don't worry, it's okay, I'm a painter. Okay. Just gonna spread that around in the, whoops, that needs more. Need some more, put it in here. It's not enough. Let's just make sure this doesn't pop out. In shipping to Vegas. Okay. There we go. Why'd the duck cross the road? I don't know. Why did the duck cross the road? He was glued to the chicken. Emil Flognoid, you win guest of the day that I've just made up. I've just made up that that's a thing. Thank you. Thank you for that. Emil. Everybody clap for Emil. Thank you. Jay's diorama is good. I'm glad you're learning something. That's my goal. Act like a weirdo and show people how to make stuff. Okay. Ow. I need to touch up this. We're going to do it the same way we did last time. I'm going to put my mask on, so I'm going to sound like Bane in a minute, because I'm going to use spray paint. I'm going to use the French beige to do some touch-up, and probably some heirloom white as well. And yeah, we'll glue some other stuff on, but I'm going to just go ahead and get this done so it's dry. Grab a brush that I don't mind ruining. Hold on a sec, guys. I'll be back in a moment. Off screen, grabbing a brush. And if you're not familiar with this technique, I'm literally just going to spray paint. I'm going to spray paint onto a piece of cardboard, use it as a palette, and while the spray paint is curing, I'm just going to touch it up and keep spraying it. It's good for touch-up techniques. I wouldn't recommend painting an entire thing like that, because not only will you get yourself like high on fumes on accident from all the spray paint, but you'll ruin a bunch of brushes and it probably won't be very effective. But if you're just going to do it a little bit, it works good. And where's my mask? Oh, it's over here. Now I am in a Christopher Nolan film. Hello, my name is Tom Hardy. You cannot understand the voice of many of the characters that I play, because for some reason I like to do that. Okay. Extreme shaking close-up. Okay, oops, I'm missing a cap. There's one. All right. See that? I just sprayed some paint on there. And then we're just going to go in and touch it up. Get rid of that white edge. Probably carry over some weathering onto this piece as well. Nice, Dogfather. Bane's not in that movie. The Riddler is. But you know that, because you're watching it. Get in there. And this isn't an exact science. It's really just about filling in and mushing it all together and getting it to look like it blends. Nothing too crazy. Oh wow. You built Sabine's TIE Fighter in 1/12 scale, like from scratch, or was that a kit, or what? Because that's cool. Or did you get the Black Series 1 and repaint it or something? Because I have one of those I'm actually going to be selling in a couple of weeks at a local toy swap. I just don't have room for it. I thought about painting it and turning it into a custom, like Sabine's TIE Fighter. But then I was like, I don't have time. I just don't have time. I don't have time to do the stuff I'm already supposed to be doing. So I'd love to do a custom TIE Fighter, but no time. I'm already doing a custom AT-AT, and that's from scratch, and that is taking forever. Wow, Emil Flognoid, you're doing a Sabine's TIE Fighter in 1/12 scale from scratch. That is amazing. That's a lot of work, my friend. I know, I'm doing a AT-AT in 1/18 scale, and it is taking, I literally thought I could do it in like 6 to 8 months, and it's like, I'm approaching like a year and a half now. And it's like, holy cow, this is taking too long. I'm surprised the commissioner hasn't like just blocked me and ignored me, because it's taking so much longer than I thought it was going to. White Vegeta, that's okay. You can rewind the stream. That'll be cool to see, Emil. I'll have to look for it, or keep my eyes out for it, because that's awesome. Just gonna do a little bit of adding of some blending dirt to this. Looks pretty good, actually. I'm pretty happy with that.
I'm good with that. Gotham is yours. We give it back to you, the people. I have not seen the Schumacher or the Schumacher or the Burton Batman. Whoops, hello. I have not seen the Schumacher or the Burton Batmans in forever, man. My goodness. I don't think I've seen, especially Batman Returns. I don't think I've seen in forever. Okay. Now, I always envisioned this little section right here on the diorama as like a little tune-up garage where like speeder bikes can come in and get a tune-up. So let me just flip this up. You can see how this is constructed. All this dense cardboard. Cardboard. And I got an instrument panel to glue here. Bloop. Just like that. I don't know if I want to EPS glue it down or if I want to epoxy it or what. I feel like I might epoxy this. Epoxy. I think I might want to use some hot glue and epoxy on this one. Hot glue to tack it in place while the epoxy cures. Let me get my glue gun. Hold on. Where'd you go, glue gun? I moved it somewhere before the stream. Here it is. It's over by the Infinity Gauntlet. Okay. My cheap and cruddy glue gun. Just stay right there. What's up? What do I normally listen to when I'm building and creating? White Vegeta asks. I mean, if I'm not listening to a podcast because I'm trying to catch up on like the news of the day or the week for things I'm interested in, like science or some action figure lines or opinion about movies, stuff like that, I'll listen to stuff like that. If I'm not listening to something like that where I'm trying to catch up on that, I will listen to ambient music or like video soundtracks from video games I really like. Or yeah, that's about it. I was talking about that earlier. So that's what I listen to. There's a couple of channels where they just loop like Chinese and Japanese village sounds, and they're amazing to listen to. They sound like the background music from like movies like The Last Samurai or like like Memoirs of a Geisha or Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon or Hero. And so I'll listen to stuff like that. It just sounds like backing tracks for those films that give the vibe and ambiance in the film. And I'll listen to that and make stuff. And it's very peaceful. You zone out and just make art. And it's very nice to listen to. Or I'll listen to like, sometimes if I'm doing, depending on the diorama, I might change it. Like when I'm working on terrain, I find I like listening to the Zelda soundtrack from Breath of the Wild, or even like ambient space music or stuff like that. And then also when I'm making something like sci-fi that's not specifically Star Wars, I'll listen to dark synth techno and cyberpunk techno type and stuff to just get me in sort of like a sci-fi mood. I do find it helps me a lot. And one of the things that was, what I did when I first started, when I built all these buildings for the tiny art experiment, because built them all in like one weekend, just the cardboard structures and foam, not the tile grout. I did that like the following weekend, but I built them all in like one weekend. And I actually watched all 6 original Star Wars, so the original trilogy and then the prequels, while I built them in the background. And I was like tearing up at certain moments because I'm like, I'm making a Star Wars while watching Star Wars. That was actually really cool. It doesn't sound cool, but it was cool. So, Muzak. You're right. That's the right Muzak. Fishnet's got the right word. Yeah, that's about. I mix it up between those things depending on what I'm working on and if I need to catch up on news, because I do follow news that is like some pop culture news, like movie news, figure news, and some stuff about the economy. But I like science podcasts and some of the Radio Lab podcasts. I really enjoy. Not all of them. They've been doing a lot of stuff over the last couple of years that has not been as interesting to me as it used to be. But yeah. Anyways, that's what I listen to. Let me sketch exactly where this is gonna go for myself. So I put the glue in the right spot. What do you guys? What do all you listen to when you work on stuff, or if you listen to something or watch something? What do you do? I'd be curious what you guys listen to, especially you, White Vegeta. I'm gonna use some of this Gorilla Glue because I only have a little bit left. I'm just gonna squirt it right on the piece and mix it. Just gonna finish it off. Blech. Just gonna mix it right onto the piece. And I already said that. Goes this way. Throw that in the trash. Excellent. I need a stick for mixing. I'll just use a piece of cardboard. There was a time too when I was working on urban city dioramas where like my big ones, like my big alleyway. I think when I made that huge alleyway that I have that on a reel. It's pinned on my Instagram. It's the alleyway and the brownstone, I think, are in the same video. But I think when I was working on that, for some reason, I binged The Office, the show. When it was still on Netflix, I binged that was, 3 or 4 years ago or something like that. I binged the whole show while building that. I just watched the whole show all the way through again. And I think it took me that whole show to build that. Pretty much. Plus or minus a couple of random like YouTube streams and podcasts that I listen to, stuff like that. But yeah, so that's how long that diorama took. That diorama took one office watching. That's a lot of epoxy. Put some more of the back of this. A little more than I thought it was. That's okay. Do this. Let it start to cure. And this piece, see how this is cast out of resin? This was provided by another contributing artist, part of the Tiny Art Experiment team, Diorama Accessories. His name is Raul. I think he may have changed his account name. I saw that he sent Jason Jensen Trains some cast pieces to paint as well. I just tapped that and that had epoxy on it. So he may have changed his account name. I got to double check because I got to print out little flyers and stuff for everybody when this is on display in Vegas. But he might still be under Diorama_accessories, but he made these and contributed these, a few different doors and mechanical pieces that he sent in. So I'm just going to use this hot glue to tack this down while the epoxy cures. And there we go. I'm going to lift this a little bit up off the cardboard too. So we're going to be putting sand below this, and I don't want this sand. I want the sand to maybe go under this a little bit. So I'm just going to hold that in place. There we go. Epoxy, or the hot glue's already holding nicely. Oop, some of the epoxy squeezed out. It's okay. I can touch that up later if I need to. Okay, and I have this other door from Pie Box Models that I'm not sure where to put. I'm gonna go look at another piece really quick. Let me go grab it. It really needs some repair. One of the other big buildings that I did. Hold on, I'll be right back. There we go. I forgot this one didn't have a door, so we have a place for that other door. So this one fell, so I need to repair it. This one fell off my truck. So this is one of the other big buildings that I did. Actually, I think this is actually the first building that I did. So this one fell. It needs a repair up here and some touch up here. But this, I was surprised how resilient this was down here. It needs some repair. And over here, but here's another one of the pieces that Raul, the Diorama accessories, sent me. He sent me that and we glued it in, so I got to paint that. I'll probably custom paint that. I'll do like maybe a silver, and then come in and like hand paint some brass looking stuff in there maybe. I don't know. And then yeah. So, but I forgot this side needed a door, so perfect. And this door looks like it will fit. Yep, we might need to put something above it, or we could put a step below it. Put something above it or a step below it. I think a step below it would make sense. So maybe I'll trim this out a little up here, and I'll put in a step below it. So let's do that. Well, this epoxy's curing on this. I don't really want to flip that around until the epoxy's cured, so bring the camera down. Boop. Okay. This over. And to trim some of this out. Maybe we'll do this. Let me grab something else. That's not going to work as well as I thought. That's a thick piece. Going to test an idea I just had. I've never tried to chisel this stuff, so I'm curious if this will chisel. Kind of. If I get a better angle on it. Yeah, it does it. Sorry about the loud noise. There we go. How does that look? Oh, that's better. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, that's good. And then I'll fill it in. Just wanted to get it flatter. Okay. So let's pre-weather this like we did on the other ones. And we'll slip that in. So get some orange and some brown. Orange and silver. Just gonna do this. I'm gonna do it the quick and dirty way. Just put it right on there. Oops. Get my dirty paint. Nope, I don't want the dirty paint water. I lied. I just want this. Spread this around in there. Excuse me. Here we go. Let that start to cure a little bit, and then we can just wipe away. Here we go. Here we go. Nice. Okay. Make it look a little bit more weathered. And then I wonder what the umber looks like on this. Not so great. Too close to the normal, to the base coat I put on it. Just curious. But more dirt always looks good. So we'll do that. And then let me do some of this French beige. Let me grab a sponge really quick. Piece of a sponge. You can get these at Home Depot for like $1. Cut pieces off. There we go. There we go. Looks good. Well, this guy in. The reason I epoxy that resin piece on the other one, because that resin is very heavy. And I could see how just if I just had regular glue on that other piece and tapped it, it'd break right off. So there we go. So just going to, I'm actually gonna do the glue stick technique. That's what I call it. One of these bottles, and just go like this. Get a bunch of glue on the back like that. It's a little tricky, but you can do it if you practice. And then tack it in place again with the good old hot glue. Okay. There we go. Michael Dumas is making gumbo. Excellent. White Vegeta. Good night, dog father. Oh, nice. White Vegeta is making some shipping containers. If you guys want to get a shipping container, go follow White Vegeta. They're great. He's making some great looking ones. I have one that I started like 6 years ago and never finished. It's sitting over there on the shelf, looking at me with its angry eyes. Thanks, Famine. I'm feeling better. C.H. Anthony, thanks for being here. Okay. There's that. I'll have to make a little step for that door. Let's see. How tall is that? Half an inch. All right, let's make a little step really quick. Ultra quick step. How wide is it? It's 1, 2.5 inches wide. One, 2.5 inches wide. Yep. bit. Bam. Basic step. Cut a little bit off a bit. Yep. And then I'm going to put the glue on both sides. That. Maybe a little bit into the side. And hot glue on the back. Bam. Alright, cover that with grout when I get around to fixing this one. What's that? Yo, Jordan, just here for a bit and I'm still coughing myself. Oh, shoot, Star Marvel. Yeah, sorry, bro. Yeah, me and Mrs. Euler's workshop. I tested negative on Friday, but I'm coughing a little, as you can hear. And Mrs. Euler's workshop tested negative today. So, yeah, I talked to some friends who had the symptoms hang around for a few weeks. So, hopefully I'll, just the coughing and the loginess, but hopefully I'll get over it soon enough and can function normally again. Venti Americanos certainly help with that. Thank you, caffeine. And that just fell on the floor. I got to clean up my shop floor. I looked back at my live stream from yesterday and realized, oh look, there's a coffee cup on my floor. I didn't even notice it was on my floor. Okay. So let's see, is this curing back here? That's pretty good. All right. Let's see. You know what? Maybe I'll just paint this now while I'm working on this one. So I think I want to do the same basic process that I did. Let's see. Let me just prop this up with something. Yellow. I'll just prop it up with this thing of water. That's not precarious and dangerous at all. Just kidding. All right, let's just paint it by hand. See how it looks. If it doesn't look good, then I'll brush paint. I'll spray paint it or airbrush it or something. So just grabbing this brush, I'm just gonna burnt umber it in. Several other colors in different ways. So oops, some umber on the corner. I umbered the corner. I umbered it. Is that a new verb? Like you shrewded it? You umbered it? Smaller brush. Just a base coat. I think these are these castings that I made are from G.I. Joe toys, which are great for sci-fi details. So if you guys, and I know he sells these, so if you guys want to get a casting of this, and I know they're affordable too, go hit up Diorama_accessories to make your own spaceship details. And make all your spaceship dreams come true. Some exposed surface there. Right there. Hi, ye all. Hello, Troy. Thanks for coming by. Okay. Now I'm going to paint silver on it afterwards. I'm going to do dry brushing at the end. I'm going to throw in some orange here. It'll make sense as I go. You might be going, why is he doing that? Well, just hey, hold your ponies. Those are always fun comments to get on videos. Why are you doing it that way? Because that's the way I decided to do it. That's the wrong way. No, it's not. It's just my way. It's my way or the wrong way. Just kidding. Or as Homer Simpson would say, there are only 3 ways to get something done. The right way, the wrong way, and the max power way. And then Lisa says, isn't that just the wrong way? And Homer goes, yeah, but faster. So it's the max power way. We'll go with that. Okay. Sponge. And suddenly it looks like rust. Wow. Whoops. Don't get it on the side. That's one of the problems with gluing it on first. It suddenly looks like rust. Yeah, it's like I meant to do that. Take that, comment section. Just kidding. There we go. So as I sponge it, it's pulling off and spreading around slightly more evenly everything I put on there. And putting the orange in the lower spots ensures that the rust gathers probably more where it would likely gather. And because it's a lighter tone of brown underneath, it's pulling it off and creating an effect. So it looks rusted. And I'll come back with, once this is dry, I'll come back with a shiny silver and do some like dry brushing scratches and things. So I just did that with the spray painted on color, burnt umber, and orange, and a sponge, and a brush. Hey, White Vegeta, he hit all the emojis. That's an all emoji rust job. Bam. And that's how you can do rust without actually having to do texture rust. The acrylic paint, if you lay it on thick enough and wet enough, it'll kind of create its own texture after you sponge it. You can also do it by stippling. You don't have to use a sponge. You can just I would get a bigger brush and just go blop, 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 evenly all over it, and it'll kind of do the same thing. Because it's gonna kind of, the thickness of it is gonna kind of flatten down too as it cures and dries. So it's not gonna be as dense. If you stipple it, it'll look more dense than when you sponged it, but it'll flatten as it dries anyways. So there you go. I've done rust like that many times. And you wonder why Bob Ross always had burnt umber on his palette. Because you never know when you're going to have to rust a sci-fi door on the side of a Tatooine building. You never know. And Bob Ross knew that you never know. Okay. Ugh, keep getting mustache hairs on my mouth. All right. I'm going to touch up the grout on this, and then I will move on to making some more accessories. How long have I been live for? Yes, an hour and 25 minutes? 35 minutes. Good, okay. Trying to make it at least 2 hours. I think I can make it. I'm feeling all right. Do I want to add more accessories to this? Yes. Yes, I do. I'm playing chess, so I feel like at least. Maybe we'll put him over here. We'll put this one up here. Oh, no, that one right there. And this one right here. Do, 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 do. Right there. I like it right there. It's going right there. Yep, that's where it's gonna go. Yep. Keep convincing myself. Does this fit in there? Yes, it does. All right, I'm gonna cut a hole for this and glue this and then slide it in there. Let me grab a drill really quick, wherever my drills are. Hello, Mr. Drill. One sec, I gotta go out to my truck. Oh, I don't have my truck with me because Mrs. O's workshop told me to take the car. Never mind. I'll do it another way. Do I have a spare drill around here that's not in my truck? Nope. Okay. I guess I won't do that method. I don't have my drills handy. How do I want to attach this? I don't want to just glue it on because I feel like this will break off. So I want to do something through it. Something through it. Could just use a nail. Stick a nail through it, I guess. Nah, that'd be too cheap. All right. I have an idea. Hold on. Let me just create a guide hole and then I'll come back later and put a thing through the backside when I have my drills. Where's my hammer? Just gonna do this. So now I can see through the other side where this is placed. And I can drill through it and then do it later. Okay. Epoxy. More epoxy. Fun fact, epoxy does not melt foam. I'm going to use some of the Bob Smith Industries since I just used the last of my Gorilla Glue. Brush bottles. Don't need very much. Just, oh, duh. Pull the little cap thing off. There we go. Forgot about that. The other cap thing off. Bueno. Ooh, got a little bad smell. All right. Chemicals in the morning. Okay. Sir Mix-a-Lot. I like epoxy. I can't say why. You other brothers can't deny. When epoxy walks in, you get glued. I don't know. I can't think of good words on the impromptu for that rewrite of that song I just did. Okay. Epoxy. Okay. I'm ADD and hard right now. Okay. At least with the audio portion of the podcast. Okay. Put this right there. Keep it this way so the hot glue goes down. And we'll just set this thing aside. All right. So I'm not going to repair that until that dries. But I am going to epoxy this thing on. just gonna pick a spot. Just gonna do it. I'm just gonna close my eyes and pin the tail on the diorama. No, don't do that. That would be not good. Ooh, for some reason this epoxy smells much stronger than it did last time. Whip it. Okay. And bueno, okay. You put it right next to this one because I don't care. I'll come back and put some grout up to these edges. Fill it in. Okay. Now he's got a little friend. That's where that's going. Okay. Let me put this aside. Let this glue dry. Put this nail back in my nail box. Oh, I've got dioramas everywhere here. Okay. This should be cured enough now. Oh yeah, that's not moving. We're good to go. There you go. Now you can see. Excuse me. 28 people watching me do this. My goodness, you guys are loyal supporters. Thank you. Thank you for all the thumbs up again. I appreciate it. Okay, so I'm gonna make some more details because I feel like some of these buildings need more detail. Especially, I got a couple more small buildings over there that need them. Thank you for all the emojis. Man. All right, let's pull some random pieces to do details with out of my PVC and mechanical parts. Yeah. So this is like a random piece of packaging, a couple of PVC elbows, cap with the grippy lines, end cap. I forgot what these are called, but little cap, a couple of pieces of dowel rod, another cap. These are little sort of nozzle ends for air hoses. I have a whole bag of these, so I might paint some of these and stick them in the diorama. And then I have the return piece for that little nozzle. Thank you, sir. Paint this. I used one of these as a lighting fixture on a sci-fi diorama. And then I have these cool little things I got at a store that's no longer around called Twin City Surplus that was here in Northern Nevada. It's actually been featured on Mythbusters and on Adam Savage's channel. But they used to have some of the best World War II surplus and Vietnam War surplus. And you could go in there and buy like airplane parts for like by weight. You know, you could go buy like, you know, gauges from World War II airplanes for like $10, you know, just cool stuff. And so I have a whole pile of these hexagonal like nuts with this sort of return piece on them. This sort of, I don't know what you call that. I can't think of the technical term, but whole pile of these and stuff. I have drawers and little boxes of stuff that I bought from there that I haven't used yet. Mostly bought it for my steampunk stuff, but some of these details work great for sci-fi stuff. So, yeah. Some of these things, let me show you the diorama that I coded yesterday. I created these little inlets in the piece, and I was thinking it'd be cool to put pipes running through them. So once I paint this, some of these details I might come in here and glue in and have be like little pieces of piping running through the thing. Like saw this off at an angle. I don't know how detailed I'm gonna get, but or have like two pipes like running right through here. Like this just got exposed to you know, it's just like a place where and put like a nozzle on it, you know, where someone would come in and wrench it. Not a nozzle, man, I cannot think right now. The thing you turn to shut off a thing. A handle. Gosh, man, I cannot think right now. So same thing like with this side. I've got this little inlet over here, so it'd be kind of, I was thinking it'd be cool to put like, you know, some pipe details or something. I don't know. Make it look like access to the water lines or whatever, you know. So thought that would be kind of cool. So yeah, but I'm gonna probably do some of that off screen. I'll do some of it live on my Tiny Art Experiment Instagram account, which is separate from Euler's Workshop. But shouldn't need the hot glue right now. So let's just prep some of these for paint while I let some of this glue and stuff dry. So I need sandpaper. So this is 80 grit sandpaper, and you'd be surprised how fast this will knock these really dense details off of this stuff. Look at that, it's already almost gone. Already almost off of there. So 80 grit sandpaper works great to knock it down, and then you can come back in with 120 to smooth it a little bit. And if you want to re-smooth it completely, you can keep going up in grades. But this works well. The ground is going to be sand. Star Marvel. We're going to lay down some sand. I think I might get some either play sand or play sand that's been de-ironed with no iron in it. But we're just going to lay down some sand. It seems the most effective thing. So there's that. Just PVC elbows from off the shelf in the plumbing aisle in Home Depot. There we go. A little divot in there, but that's okay. It'll add to the weathering. I'll make it look like weathering or something. Sand off the back side of this. It's a duck call now for the duck that's glued to the chicken. Oh, it's full of my spit. Okay, there's one. Star Marvel, it's probably going to go, I'm probably going to lay down some piece of, either a piece of plastic or a piece of fabric. I haven't figured that out, to be honest with you, exactly, but what I'm envisioning in my head is a piece of like painter's plastic tarping. Painter's, what's a drop cloth, plastic drop cloth, and cut it to fit the table, and then cut it maybe a few inches in, maybe like 4 to 6 inches in from the edge of the table, lay the sand down, and then place the buildings, and then put up little signs next to everybody's piece where it's relevant. That's okay. And for this purpose, it's going to be sand on a circular table. But if I end up taking this to other places or sending this to some of our, mainly the one photographer that's super far away from me, 3 of our photographers are close enough to where I can literally have them meet me here, or I can meet them there, which I didn't actually realize when I started the project. I didn't realize how close they were to me. If I have to ship this to the other photographer, he can set it up differently, and we might do something different. Like I might create other types of ground environments, you know, like I think they use crushed walnut for some of the dirt in the arena and on Geonosius. So if we want light materials that are not so heavy, we could use crushed walnuts, you know, stuff like that. So, but for now, for the simplicity of it, we're probably just going to go with play sand that's got the iron taken out of it, or some type of just standard tan colored sand. Because when I took this out and took the pictures in the sand at the Moon Rocks, which is in the Tiny Art Experiment playlist, it looked really good just sitting in that sand. And that sand was actually very coarse and large. So I imagine if we get finer sand of the same tint, it should look great. So, and then once, you know, our photographers come in and light it and take pictures, it should look great, you know. I'm pretty sure that's what most people do anyways. So it's not going to be mounted permanently to anything. I want to be able to move these around and let people, will let the photographers and other artists that may want to play with this, who I can safely respect, will take care of it when they touch it, be able to move it around, you know, keep it modular so it can look different all the time from different angles. Dude, a foam base on this would be like 8 feet. 8 feet by 8 feet. So yeah, it's gonna be sand. We're just gonna let the ground be fluid. I'll do some test setups and stuff too before I take it out there in a couple of months. Maybe I'll stop in the Vegas desert and take a picture of it on the way into Vegas. Be kind of fun. Or I could set it up in front of the Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas sign and take a picture of it. Might take too much time, but that'd be fun. Almost there. Okay. There's 2 details ready to go. Sorry, it's a lot of sanding up front, but then it gets cooler and easier. This one just needs some sanding on here. There we go. And this ugly piece of ugliness. I could get out my angle grinder and use it if I wanted to. Maybe I will, just to mix it up. Let's get the angle grinder out and make a bigger mess. Hold on a second. I have a mini angle grinder I got from Harbor Freight that I absolutely love. It works great for tiny little things, and I do a lot of tiny things as a miniaturist, so a lot of people, like metal workers, like I've had them look at this and laugh at it like, that's not an angle grinder. I'm like, yeah, but you're not grinding little tiny pieces of hard plastic and metal. You know, you're grinding swords and big pieces of metal pipe and stuff. You know, I don't need that. So. Ta-da! Mini angle grinder. This thing is so helpful for somebody like me. I think they still sell these at Harbor Freight if you guys want one. They're super duper helpful. I'll clean up my sanding mess here. Clean up the gunk off of this. The sticky gunk. almost there. Fingernails. Nature's tool. Scraper. Nature's scraper. Okay. Denatured alcohol. Where did you go? Here you are. And pop this open. This will clean up sticky gunk from tape and labels pretty much right away. So there's your sticky gunk. And now it's gone. Oh, just a little more scraping. If you need to clean PVC after you've like maybe just done a quick soapy water bath, denatured alcohol will pull like stains off of it. It's great, and I'll clean gunk off of it and everything. There we go. Get the tapes off of it. Show you. So probably, yep, I should pull some of that tape off. Could just paint over this and it would look like weathering. But why would I do that? Okay. Get some more in here and just wipe this a little bit just so the paint sticks a little better. Okay. I'm going to get out the 120 grit and just kind of go over these a little bit. Just even it out. Just a little bit. There we go. That's good. Okay. I'm going to add some detail to these. So these PVC pipes, these duck calls, and with some poster board because I want to. You can't stop me. Here's some poster board. Just going to cut like a 1/2-inch strip of this. I've shown this before, but I'll show it again. Really easy way to add detail to PVC, especially PVC pipe. Super glue, where'd you go? There you are. Oops, dried on the tip. Just scraping the tip, get the glue off. Okay. Nope, it dried inside of it. It's okay. Where are my nails at? I need a nail to poke a hole in my glue. There it is. Too big of a nail. I need a smaller nail. Come here, smaller nail. Let's try this smaller. Oh, it's coming out now. Haha. It's exploding everywhere. There we go. Don't need a lot to do this. Just gonna do that. Put the seam on the back side. Just wrap it around. Boom. Trim this off. Put some more glue right there. And do that. There we go. Instant detail. Well, not instant. You have to do it. And do the same thing up here. Use that to wipe it around. Hold that in place. Go around. Go around. Oops. Don't let it stick to your fingers. Cyanoacrylate. Powers activate. And just do a wipey on that. Oops. And we'll just cut off the excess like that. And pipe detail. And we'll do it again. This one. That. Right there. Press it down. Not worried about this backside because it's not going to be visible once I put it up against a wall. So, but you can be more flawless if you need to be. If this was for a client or I had more of a 360-degree view, I would be slowing down a lot. I'd still be moving quick, but I'd be slowing down a lot. But this is literally meant to look like aged and weathered, so some degree of jank, whatever the jank level is, for this particular diorama actually will look appropriate. So don't be afraid to inject some jank into your diorama. Jankiness. I feel like I need to make an injector gun that says jank on the side now. That would be kind of cool. I should do that. Maybe for my next wearable art project, I'll make a jank injector. Sounds weird and dirty, but it's not. It's okay. I had another guy. Okay, so now I could glue these to one another, which I think I will. Thank you very much. And just do a little magic rub and put them together. And I'm going to put some in this backside seam, and I'm going to spray some accelerant in it while I drop my cap and lose it to the void forever. Maybe I did lose it. It's gone. Where'd you go, Cap? Oh, there it is. All right, I didn't lose it. Okay, there's some pipe detail. We could even get super creative and like do something like this. Oops, got some glue leaking out of the bottom there. Not too much glue on that. That's all right, we'll do that. We'll just set it like this until it dries. Okay, this piece. What do I want to do here? I don't have my stupid drills. I keep forgetting about that. That looks kind of cool. Maybe put that on top of a building or something like that. Maybe like that. So I have more surface area to glue it down here. Or maybe not. It's where you just got to do stuff and not overthink it. Just get a bunch of pieces of stuff and just do things. And it'll just, things will happen as you do things, and you'll be like, hey, it turned out pretty good. That's all we're going for here, is pretty good. There we go. Maybe put one of these on top. We'll super glue it in place. Like that. Some super glue in the middle. Do the accelerant. Just make noises for things. Give it a dupe and a squoosh. That's doing pretty good. Okay. And then I need a drill for this. Be kind of cool to put like a little thing on the side here. Kind of look like a droid. Beep boop beep. I need my drill for that. Why did I let Mrs. Will's workshop come into? I feel like I have another drill somewhere. Let me think for a sec. Where's my spare drill? Hold on. I think I know where one is. Nope. Drills. Spare drills. I have a saw. My knees hurt. Let's have a battery for this one. Found one, I just don't know if I have a battery for it. Here. Come with me to the, oops. Come with me to the other side of the shop. Toby! Toby knows my Pete and Pete reference. Here, let me flip this around. Hello, that's my nose. Okay. Let's go see if I have a drill over here. Maybe. I know I have a spare rigid drill somewhere. I just don't know where that somewhere is right now. I don't know where I put it. One of those things you put away and you're like, I don't know where it went. Nope. Found some Pop-Tarts. I might just have to wait on that piece until I get my drill. Excuse me. Okay, well, there's some buildings. There's some more buildings. Hey, well, most of my shop is not for diorama making. I just saved the space back here for it. Most of my shop is for my other work that I'm trying to slowly phase out over the years. So, yeah, I guess I don't have my other drills here. Oh, as soon as I get off stream, I'll find it. I'll be like, ah! Why didn't I remember it was over there? Okay, well. I'll just have to go with this for now. And tape on my shoes, because I need to clean up my shop. Okay, that's all right. So, got this guy, and I think next time, this will probably put onto a wall, so I can paint this one. I can still paint this and drill it later. I just don't like doing touch-up if I don't have to. Put a little, glue this on there. There we go. That looks like that belongs there. Bloop. 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 We'll do another bloop. 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 Oops. It wants to slide around. I don't know why. Yeah, probably too much uncured underneath. That's okay. We'll just do this. Bam. Okay. There you go. Concrete bubbles here, everybody. That's his door right there. That's a good idea. Mobile cleaning tank. I like it. Perfect. I'm trying not to make the accessories. You guys made all the accessories. I'm trying to make details on the buildings, but that is a good option. I like it. Okay, so I will paint this. I might add a little detail onto this here. Maybe. Or should I just leave it? I think I'll just leave it. It looks good just like that. I like it. Troy, they really do. You're right. Gremlins do move things and hide things from us. And by gremlins, we mean attention deficit disorder, right? Because that's what happens to me constantly. Okay. So this, I totally just got this big old glob of this from my paper towel here. So I'm going to have to just clean this off really quick. There we go. Making a micarta using cyanoacrylate and paper. Accidentally making a resin composite material here. I don't know if you guys know that, but if you impregnate paper or fabric with resin and cure it, you create a new material. I think that's referred to as most of the time as micarta, and it's like a new rigid material. A lot of people use it to make like knife handles. I sort of accidentally did that on there. Okay. So I'll paint this. Go ahead and paint all these, and then I'll put this in separately. These, I'm going to set these aside. I'm going to use those on something else later. I have this thin PVC tube I might bend later, but I want to make sure it fits in one of those alcove shapes. So I'm going to custom cut this later. This one I'm also going to custom cut, but I will paint these. Let me get my little painting board here. My accessory painting board here. Do that. Set these up so that I can spray. I can maximum spray as many little things as possible here. Let's see. That one, and that one. Okay. And I'm going to stick with my espresso color. Oh, no, sorry. This is dark walnut, not espresso. Yeah, Emil, yeah. Baking soda and wood glue, it's a good filler. Baking soda and you want to see a crazy chemical reaction in a well-ventilated area with a mask and goggles on, baking soda and super glue, you can make a really cool hard filler material with that as well. Sawdust and super glue, there's all kinds of cool materials you can do. That's an excellent one, though. It's an easy one, too. All right, let me just get my mask on so I can pretend that I'm in The Dark Knight Rises and pretend that I'm Tom Hardy. Gotham is yours. I have to say that every time I put my mask on and annoy everybody. That's okay. Okay. Get out of there. Almost there. Okay. So something you might notice is the paint is not perfectly laying onto this base piece. Probably just because of the way it's been oiled and weathered through use, because it's a used piece of PVC. That's going to add to the weathering. So I'm not going to worry about covering it evenly. I'm going to let this dry like this. And then we have these weird streaks of whatever material was on this. When you drag your oranges and silvers and different colors of weathering over this, it'll catch that and look like rust or different types of weathering. So I'm going to roll with that. I don't necessarily try to clean it off. Same thing here. Some of the areas that we sanded roughly, it'll all add to the weathering in the end. So if I'm not trying to make something look brand new and I want it to look old and weathered, sometimes rolling with the imperfections is the best way to go. So I'm gonna set this aside, and this is gonna take a while to cure because it's a semi-gloss. Well, it's a satin on a smooth material, so this is gonna take a while to be cured to be able to paint over it. Probably won't get to this until midweek or next week. So we'll set these aside. Out of breathing range, over here somewhere. There. Let me go over to the shelf. Woo! All right.
And I think my other stuff is probably dry enough for me to repair. This is mostly what I was going to add some of those pieces to. So I'm probably done with that for today. And I wanted to do some tile grout repair work on this and this. And actually, I also need to do some not repair work, but finishing work on the ones I did yesterday live. So let's do that real quick. I think it should take us 30 minutes, and then we'll see how much time we have left after that. Oh, and here is that rust paint we did. Look at that. It's already drying. Ta-da! I love cheap acrylic paint because it dries fast. Okay, what did I say? Tile grout. Gosh. All right. Probably won't wear my mask for this because we're only going to do some spot work. But I am going to wear a glove. So this is linked below. This is the resin-based tile grout. It works great on cardboard. If you're going straight onto wood or a surface that's not going to absorb as much moisture, you could use the water-based tile grout. But the resin-based stuff I think I like the most because it sticks to a lot more surfaces more better, and it's a little bit more versatile. But you could use water-based stuff and mix it. You can get a big 30-pound bag or 60-pound bag and mix quantities yourself. But obviously you have to mix it. This is a little bit more expensive by weight, but it's pre-mixed for you, and it's resin-based and it sticks to more things, and glue sticks to it really well. So because it's resin-based. Did I say resin-based? I forgot if I said resin-based, but it's resin-based. It's I think it's ideal for this stuff. So actually, I'll show you where it says it here. Contains silica and styrene acrylic polymer. Right there. Titanium dioxide and ethylene glycol. So the ethylene glycol and the styrene acrylic polymer are the key ingredients, because we use styrene, as you recall. This is actual styrene, and this is styrene polymer. They're chemically similar, so they agree with bonding to one another. So, and also other plastics like PVC and things like that, they're all close. They're all close enough. So that's why I like the resin-based stuff, which is the styrene resin. But it doesn't have to be this again, but I like it. Okay. That's how much I got left. I think I've gone through 3 of these tubs for this experiment. Or no, 4 of these tubs for this experiment. This is my 4th tub. Or no, sorry. 3 big ones and 1 half-size one. That's what I've gone through for this experiment. So if you need to do, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13
1/18 scale Star Wars buildings, you'll need about 3.5 of these. Just rough math, you know, if you need to know. All right, so just some spots over here that need some love. Little areas that got chipped and or filled in thinly. Just need a little bit of filler. I'll go back and touch these up the same way I touched everything else up. Okay, that's good. Where else does it need it? A little bit right here. Turn that up for you. Some of these edges, when they're really sharp edges, they don't take the grout as thick. So sometimes it's good to round over and sand the edge, like this corner, you know, it'll take the grout a little bit better if it's rounder, I've found. But experiment, find your own way, because you might discover little things that I didn't discover using this. Shore up some of these edges. A little bit in here. These little spots that just didn't get covered as well on my initial go around are kind of being exposed as I paint, because the paint is seeping through and melting the foam in little areas that I missed. Excuse me, I'm burping a lot. Hope you like the sound of burps. This is a burping ASMR Star Wars diorama building crazy painter stream. We do a little bit of everything here at Oilers Workshop. Next week, tune in for Clown College. No, just kidding. Or am I? Alright, I'll show you how to go back and smooth all this out here in a sec. I don't think when I did touch up last time I used the water method, but I will show you if you didn't catch the live from yesterday. I did a lot of it yesterday. Oh, okay. This whole area needs it. I have to put a lot in here. Glad I didn't paint this, because this needed filler. Sometimes you don't see it until you start looking for it. These are areas that if I dropped this or it fell over, it would just crack out because it's just too thin. It's my bad. I just got a rush, I think, when I covered this piece. This is the only one that needs this much. I think this is one of the last pieces, bulk pieces I did in the grout, so I must have been in a rush and just didn't really realize it. No biggie. It's part of the process. I'm having to go back and touch up stuff. But the slower you do it at the beginning, the better of a coat you'll have. So you learn to slow down. I've learned to slow down on the stuff I've done recently. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I just could use a little bit in this corner. That's good. A bit up in here. Oop, right there needs some. You start spotting the areas where styrofoam is peeking through where it shouldn't be. As I crack it more. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, I'm happy with that. So now, this is just water, but it's water that's been dyed with on accident. Well, not on accident, but incidentally, excuse me. It's been dyed incidentally because I've been using it to smooth out the and blend in the coverage stuff here. So you take this water and you dab it. This stuff is water soluble until it's cured. So this is how you smooth out the grout. If so, because this is designed to go in between tiles, right? So if you were to spread this across tile, and then you come back and you want it to sink in between the tiles, you'd come back with a really wet sponge. Whoops, sorry. If you want this to sink into tile, because it's designed to go into tile, you would spread it across the tile and then come back with a really wet large sponge. And sorry, let me move my camera cord. Really large sponge. And wipe over the top of your tile grout to get the grout to become more even. Let me move the camera over here. And so that's why it's water soluble until it's cured. And then you can take this and basically maneuver it and blend it out. And I kind of just stipple along the edge like this until it looks like it's part of the piece texture-wise. And you come back with your paint when it's dry and you're good to go. A little hair in there. This is where you refine it. I can do this. You don't need a lot of water either. Just if you just keep tapping it, it'll start to obey what you're doing. I think the water also seems to accelerate the hardening. When I just put it on raw, I think it seems to cure slower than when I come back with water and even it out. I don't know about the curing process, but the water seems to encourage the drying. Probably, I guess maybe because the water is drying and it encourages the wicking away of the chemicals at the same time, maybe? I don't know. But it seems to make it cure faster once you put the water on. So, and I'm all about working fast when I can. I don't like to dilly-dally on unnecessary things. Or things that are just like a grind, like base coating something or coating something in a texture. I like to get to the details or the nitty-gritty of everything. So... Okay. And if you needed to, you could come back with a sponge and sponge up the water, like right here, a little bit excess. And you can also sponge out the texture. Oops, of course you can't see what I'm doing. Sponge out the texture to help blend it back into the original piece without looking like a repair. Okay, that is repaired. This can dry out and I'll finish it another day. And this one needs a lot of repair here, so this one will need mucho more. This one's gonna probably need a lot of repainting. Sometimes scooping it in your hand is like, seems to work really, really well for getting it to stay in place. Do some over here. Put this over here. Okay, just gonna do that. It's gonna need a lot of repainting. Because it fell. That's okay. Just doing a little piece of this footer piece here. Okay. Might actually bust out the full spray cans when I repaint this, because I feel like a touch-up brush is going to look too much like I touch-up brushed it. So we'll see how I feel when it's dry. Sometimes this stuff can be kind of finicky too, but sometimes just using your hand as the spreader works better than trying to spread it with a spreader. Depends on the temperature, I've noticed too. Seems to work better when it's hot, which is true for most, you know, materials that are spreadable or paintable or need to cure in the air. Seem to perform better when they're hot. I'm feeling hot, hot, hot. Okay. I'm gonna fill in this door down here. Or this, what do we call it? Step. I don't mind if some of it gets on the door, because I'm gonna have to repaint this, and I'll just spread weathering up the step onto the door where I put this grout that's smeared up onto the door. I'm not really worried about that. Here that needs a repair. Just noticed. Think. So I got this corner over here I forgot about. Oops. Okay. All right. Switch to the water. Just wipe this all off. Just hammer my lid back on here. All right, put the grout away. And get out of the water. Okay, same thing here. Just stipple blend it out. Okay. Okay. I think that is repaired. Oh, that's repaired. That's good to go. That's repaired. This thing is painted. We need to weather it still. This thing is painted. We need to weather it still. And that's done, except for more weathering. So just trying to catch up everything to kind of the same place before I start doing all the grease and oil and stuff. So, which I did a couple of test buildings already, so I know what I'm gonna do. But and then I'm gonna do the Terraformer High School Creations contribution building at the towards the end. So what is it? 2 hours and 42 minutes. Okay, well I was trying to keep it closer to 2 hours, but hey, I don't know why I can't seem to keep it less than about 2.5 hours. So, all right, thank you guys for coming by. Thank you guys for being here. If you're going to be anywhere near Las Vegas or in the Southern California or California area or Northern Arizona area or Western New Mexico area, end of February, come check out the International Market of Miniature. Jurassic Jesse, what's up, man? Thank you for being here. I will be at the Toy Swap on December 10th, buddy, if you're going to be there. What was I saying after I ADD'd or before I ADD'd? Wow, I am very distracted. Okay, if you're going to be anywhere in that area in the end of February, come by the Gold Coast Hotel and at the International Market of Miniature Artisans. I recounted the vendors last weekend, and I think there's 64 vendors, including myself. And there's some pretty amazing people there with very large followings who have been doing miniatures for much longer than I have, who are going to be selling their stuff and teaching classes there. So come and check it out. And if you want to see this whole project laid out as a miniature city, it's going to be there live with everybody's names. I'm going to do some more of this work off screen over the next couple of weeks. I'll try to pick something specific to do next Sunday to do this stream, on this stream, maybe finishing up those details, gluing them on, adding some more paint details, and then maybe weather it all on like one stream. Awesome, Jurassic Jesse. Maybe we can do a live stream on Instagram or something, or on YouTube together, just for a short one or something, to say hi to everybody and make all your friends jealous. If you guys don't know Jurassic Jesse, he was a beloved member of the Toy Migos the Chat Migos on the Toy Migos channel. So thanks for being here, Jesse. I've got my dinosaurs up there in a box. I don't have them down here. Sorry. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. And if you guys are interested in my custom bases, I still have plenty of those available. They're kind of selling a little bit here, a little bit there. I'm going to limit those to 100, so when they sell out, they're gone. But you can check out my Etsy store, which should be linked below, etsy.com/shop/OilersWorkshop. You can use the discount code OWYT Custom Base for $10 off your base, or $10 off anything over $100 in my store if you want to do that. If you order a base in the next, 2 weeks, I will have it to you before December 25th. So if you're going to have it as a gift or something, I will get it out to you before then. Anything after 2 weeks from now, it may not come before then. So just keep that in mind if you're ordering something from me. Because I got to finish this tiny art experiment. I have some commissions I'm doing. I have a large AT-AT I'm trying to finish as soon as possible. I've been grinding hard on that week, this week while I've been sick. I came to the shop. I didn't go anywhere. I just came to the shop and worked on that AT-AT and a little bit of the tiny art experiment. So anyways, thank you guys for being here. And yes, I will, Jesse. Thank you. And if you guys have any questions in the future times, please leave them below or ask me on Instagram. If you guys do use any techniques that you picked up from me or learned here,
please tag me in them on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. I will reshare your post, and it helps other people know that if they come here and they watch the videos that I do with all of you guys, that it's worth their time. And so I definitely am trying to grow my channel, let people know I'm here, and so we can learn from one another and have fun. So thanks, Concrete Bubble, for being here, and I'm going to pull some stuff down to show off on the next stream, some of the other artist stuff that hasn't been showcased in several months. I'd like to show off some of their stuff because I owe that to them, and I'm sure some of you guys will love it. So yeah, let me pull some of that down for the next stream, and that's all I have to say about that. See you guys next time.